is in. How you feeling and how you feel like the team's doing?
I'm feeling pretty good. Typical sore, just fighting through it. You're in the dog days now, so when we go live and stuff, you got to get amped, get ready to go, and then when it's done in practice, you got to be working on, perfecting your craft, the things you got to get better. And I like where our team's at too. Not a whole lot of complaining going on compared to last year. People just head down working, and there's lots of competition. So I definitely like the trajectory of our team, and we're getting a lot better, and we're going to keep getting better. And I'm really excited for the future.
What's the inspiration behind hair change, man? What's good?
I always like to do something for the season. It always gets the boys excited. I had a mohawk last year, and then I buzzed my head the year before. So wanted to change it up a little bit. And then a couple guys like Joe Burrow did it, and I was about to do it. I was about to dye it purple, but it just looked really not good. So I was like, all right, let's change this up. So always something for the boys. Everyone gets excited, and it's fun. I like doing it too.
So you've had a spring, some kids, and now part of fall camp with this defense. Just talk to me about how the install's going and how comfortable you feel right now.
The install's going great. We got a lot of stuff on our plate, and that's what you want. When you come here and you want to play a high level of defense, it's going to be challenging, and you really got to keep your nose in the playbook, walk through it on your own. But I'm feeling really good, really comfortable. At this point, it's like we got stuff coming in. I'm like, all right, mastered that, and then the old stuff I've mastered is coming back. So I'm like, our day one, day two installs, like our base stuff. I'm like, I still got to be a master of that. So our coaches are doing a really good job of keeping us on our toes with the call and telling us what to expect during that practice. And I think I'm feeling good, and I really like how our defense is feeling. Little mistakes here and there happens. It's practice, but I like how it's headed and what we're doing.
Schematically, what's the most exciting change in this defense compared to the last couple of years?
The most exciting change. I just think the most exciting thing is we have so many different fronts and blitz packages and packages that we're going to have teams like offensive lines heads spinning. So they don't know what kind of front they're getting, what kind of blitz, where the blitz is coming from, whether we're just in a base front like our normal stuff, or they have no idea what our coverage is because every coverage looks the same. So I think that's the most exciting, just kind of I don't know what the word is, how we hide everything. So I think that's really going to mess with people. And I like that too.
After scrimmage Friday, Josh talked about how the offense doesn't like the defense doesn't like the offense. And you've been pretty vocal, getting in people's faces. How important has it been to be that kind of leader this year?
I think it's important, but that's just how I play. When the pads come on and the helmet comes on, you just got to be a completely different person. You're out there, putting your body on the line. So if you're the same person without the pads on that you are with the pads on, you got to check yourself, because you can't act like that off the field. But on the field, it just brings intensity and compassion and all that stuff to practice and gets people going. So I don't know if it's necessarily we don't like each other, because I love them. But when the helmet's on, no one's safe. It's on, and that's how you kind of have to.
He said, we love each other, we love Jesus, we don't like each other. I think that's important.
Well, I like them too. But when the helmet's on, it's it's different. You're out there on your own. You gotta put on. So it's a dangerous game. Yeah.
Last time we talked to you, I think it was the spring, you talked about how tough your injury was last year, but how you used that opportunity to kind of grow closer to God and work on some things about yourself. Just curious how that journey, how that progression continue to go in fall camp.
Oh my gosh, it's helped so much with competition and just when you get tired and stuff. Just the biggest thing is just being the best I can be every day. If I'm the best I can be, it's always been good enough. It's gotten me here. It's gotten me to where I want to go, and it's going to get me to where my dreams are. So just focus on living in the moment, and then God, it's that's just such a cheat code almost, having Him in my corner. He's always there, and I wasn't aware of it. And then going to Bible study with some of the guys, we're going over the book of John, and basically, when you pray to God, you want to be selfish. Pray for things you want. If I want to be the best linebacker in the country, and I'm praying for that, God's going to give me all these trials and tribulations, put me in situations where it's tough to make an open field tackle, miss calls, mess up this, that. And that's just Him making me the best linebacker in the country. So, I'm really greedy when I pray. I pray for other people, and it's just been a really, really nice experience, just focusing on myself and being the best I can be and living in the moment. And it's made life a lot easier. Yeah.
How much is that competition in linebackers been just help every single guy in there. It looks like a lot of good competition.
I think it's helped the whole defense. I mean, they just see how we work, and it's honestly competitive everywhere. But it just pushes you. You know, you got to know your plays. You got to be in the rehab center, the rehab getting treatment, because you got to bring it every day. You know, we got a bunch of dudes that can play and a bunch of dudes that can absolutely fly. So if you want to get on the field, you got to be ready to go. And then if you want to be like the biggest, baddest wolf, you got to bring it every day. So the competition's been awesome. Coach Wilson's been awesome, rotating us, keeping us on our toes, and I don't know. I'm really, really grateful for it. It's made me a lot better.
There's competition, but it also seems like Coach Hodges has so many different packages that almost everybody has a role on the team.
Mm-hmm.
I guess how big has that been for the guys in the locker room?
Oh, it's huge, you know, because it keeps everyone happy in a sense, but it also is like you got to be ready. Like, you know, you're going to get on the field, and when you get on the field, you got to play. So Avos has done a great job. We have so many packages getting, you know, studs on the field at certain scenarios and what he wants. So, and what like we're best at. So it's definitely you know, helped. But it's same. Just comes down to the competition. Like, you got to know your role, that sort of thing.
The run game last year struggled. From your perspective, and so far in camp, how have you seen that develop, and how are they coming along?
I like how it's coming. You know, we got a lot of stuff in, so Avos knows exactly what he wants to do for certain situations, but we also have to get our install in. So some days we have different fronts, this, that, but I really like how our O-line's been firing off the ball. They're a really gritty bunch, and they play well together. We got to get them meaner a little bit. You know, they'll get a little tired and hot in practice, and I can just sense them, you know, reeling. But when they're firing, that's a very, very good offensive line. Coach Ricker's done a really good job. So they're getting us better. And in terms of the run game, it just kind of depends on the fronts. But I like where we're at. When we do what we're supposed to do, like, no one's going to stop us.
Dalen, 10 practices in, you look healthy. How are you feeling personally, and how is your development going?
I'm feeling great. I started off this camp focusing on just technique. And, you know, the plays, I learned them from last year. So really just the defenses, cover two, what can I do, what holes it is that I could sit in, how can me and the quarterback mesh together and know exactly what time, you know, to throw the ball and what time to look, you know. So that's really what I've been focusing on this fall. And practice 10 now, you know, I'm not really banged up because, you know, I've been really focusing on my recovery. And it's been great.
I'm sure relationship been like with Coach Kelly the last 2 seasons.
Oh, Coach Kelly, he like my second dad, really, you know. He taught me a lot when it come down to releases, top of the route, you know. And he got the aggressive nature just like me. So, you know, just bringing it in the receiver core room. You know, we got a lot of freshmen coming in, Dozy. We got a few transfers, Braylon and Eric McAllister. So, you know, just keeping that competitive nature in there, making everybody better. That's really what we've been focusing on.
There's so much talent in that wide receiver room. You list off a bunch of those. What do you think you specifically can bring to that group this year?
What I bring is leadership. So last year I came in with a dog mentality. So, you know, every day I came in, grind hard, you know, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But now it's like the freshmen, I'm telling them, hey, this is what you got to do if you want to be in this room and succeed. So it's more of just bringing everybody along with me. Me and Say, just bring everybody along, show them what we need to do to be successful, and just keep it riding.
Obviously, Josh, you were missed this spring, but you had OTAs with him. Now you've got 10 fall camp practices with him. Just how has he progressed, and what's your relationship like with him?
So last year, you know, it was new for both of us because, you know, we had to figure each other out. But this year, like I said, like, he know where I'm going to be at. I know where he going to be at. So, you know, we'll make a play, come on the sideline, and just talk about it, you know. And even if it's a bad play, the same way. We'll come and talk about it, and we'll just stack the days like that. And that's really how we built our relationship.
What have you seen from Savion in this camp compared to last year?
He more faster and stronger, I would say. You know what I mean? Like poise, you know, do exactly what he's supposed to do. He a great player. He's just great all around to me.
Everyone we've talked to this fall, they've all said there's been more of a buy-in compared to last year. There's not really any guys just thinking about themselves. Are you sensing that out there, that there's a better team chemistry?
Yes, sir. So, you know, last year was like, when I came in, I was one of the transfers, but it was a whole transfer. Like, didn't nobody really know each other, you know what I mean? And it showed when we played Colorado. But it's like now everybody know each other. Everybody been around each other. So that's where the meshing coming in. And, you know, days stacking up, we just keep getting closer as the days stack up because it keep getting harder. So, most definitely.
You mentioned that you've been working on leadership with the young guys in the receivers room. You also talked a little bit about the transition to being a transfer here last year. How have you worked with the transfers this year to make sure that culture is improved?
Telling them things that I learned with my experience or like just being here. So basically little small stuff. Hey, on this release, it'll be better if you did this. Hey, we got to come in today and, go hard even though you're tired, make sure you study these little plays because tomorrow, we're going to go over them and coach going to, be real, real on it with them. So that's really how I just do it. And I like to do my stuff like behind the scenes. I don't have to stand up in front of the crowd or anything. Just come to them one-on-one, tell them what it is, and we'll get better from there. And I do the same thing with the team. Like all the little freshmen, I done talked to all of them and figured out where they came from and, their life stories because I've been through a lot. So with me being through a lot, I can help those like others. And really, that's really what I'm here for. Like I really like helping others. It gives me energy to do what I have to do too. So
How tough was it for you last year mentally, just missing much of the season, and do you use that to motivate you this year?
Mentally, it really wasn't nothing. Like at the end of the day, it was a blessing because I didn't know nobody here. You know what I mean? So now that I came back, I could mesh with the team, and we could be a better off team, and it helped both sides, me and the team. So it's really no mental nothing. It's really just being progressive every day.
Who are the cornerbacks that give you the toughest challenge in practice?
I'll say the freshman Vaughn, just because he a longer guy, and MJ number 6. You know what I mean? He a strong dude. So if you don't get off the line fast, he will grab you, and it'll be a little hassle.